Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Transformers Deluxe action figure Combaticon Vortex from the Transformers Age of the Prime series. And as the name suggests, Vortex belong to a group of Decepticon combiner subgroup known as Combaticons, and this figure is one of the remake from the original Transformer G1 era. And before opening this up, let's check out the details we have on the case here. So here we can see the figure through the transparency of the case, and another picture of the figure, and as well as a picture for it in its vehicle mode, which is like a helicopter gunship. And here it tells us it's one of 5, so there are 4 other Combaticon, and together they can combine into Bruticus. And looks like it takes 19 steps to transform this figure between the robot and the vehicle mode. And on the other side, we can see a picture of the Combaticons combined form, Bruticus. And this other side, we see it tells us it's a deluxe class figure, and we have a few pictures of the original 13 Prime along with their unique insignia and symbols. And on the back here we have the picture of Vortex in his robot mode and in his helicopter mode. And again, we are reminded it takes 19 steps to transform between these 2 shapes. Now let's open this case. So here we have the instruction manual for the set, the Vortex figure here, and look, its propeller or weapon here, and as well as a pack likely for the Vortex's blaster weapon. Now let's cut them all loose. Here we have like 3 blaster weapons here. Now to set up the figure, first we'll just have to open up its feet here. And then we open up the legs. And then we also have to open up this propeller and put it on the figure's back by attaching it fit into the hole here. Now let's first check out the instruction to see how the accessory can be attached onto the figure. In the beginning, we have the first step, which we just did to set up the figure. Now let's see how the blaster or the weapons are supposed to work. So it looks like the small blasters are gonna be attached onto either side of the arms, while the bigger blaster is to be held in hand. And over here it also shows like how the propeller can be attached onto the arm also, like to function like some kind of shield or blade weapon. And now let's first check out the articulation of this figure. Now first I'm gonna detach the propeller, so it might be easier to work the articulation. And this figure can look to left and right easily, and it can kind of look up very little, also a little bit down, but not a lot. But you can always spin its torso forward or backward to simulate looking up and down. And you can raise the arms, 90-degree up. Also rotate around the shoulder 360-degree. There's like a kind of gauntlet piece on its arms, but you can move this arm up like that, or it might be easier you just move the whole thing up and down. And we can rotate the arms at the bicep joint. And it can also turn at its waist. So with that, it's very easy to put on kind of a fighting pose like this. And looks like these cannons on the shoulders can also be moved like that. They're also articulated. So with that, it's very easy to kind of point these cannons at whatever direction you want it to. And then it can kick its legs up 90-degree, also bend backwards. And it can also bend its knees. And at its side, it can rotate the legs inward and outward, which helps adjust its stance. It can also bend its foot. So with all these articulation, it's easy to put on some kind of simple combat pose. it seems it's tricky to keep the propeller to at the X shape you would rather it to stay at. Now to attach the blasters to the figure, first you have to slide down the armor piece on the arm here. And then attach the small blaster onto the hole here. Do the same to the other arm. And finally, the bigger blaster goes in Vortex's hand. And with the articulation of the figure, you can put on all kinds of gunfighting pose you want. Now, to put the propeller onto the arm as a weapon, so we just simply detach the propeller here. And then just raise the left arm. And then just attach the propeller on. And that's it. Now we have like a shield or kind of saw kind of weapon. That's a basic feature of this figure in robot mode. Now let's check out the instruction on how to transform it to the helicopter mode. So here we have, then naturally we'll have to detach the propeller again, and to put begin by putting the head into the figure here. Well, actually, we don't have to put it in. We just have to kind of slide out a front wheel. It looks like we have to start changing the back and the feet. And then click the legs together. Slide the whole upper body down and click the leg section up. Then change the arms. And looks like the arms will eventually transform into the tail of the helicopter. And finally, we put the propeller back on to the top of the helicopter, and the transformation is completed. And finally, you can just attach the blaster on 3 different places on the helicopter. and it effectively becomes like a gunship. Now let's begin by just detaching all the accessories. Now we start the transformation with the head. We have to turn it backwards, and then we have to slide this one part up, forward, so you'll hold the head steadily, and we lower down the landing wheel here. Next, we click the legs together, and we close up the feet. And if you look here, this will help form the head of the helicopter. And here, now we have to slide the legs in, and this will be one of the most tricky part of the transformation. First, let's turn this back panel a bit, and now you want to slide the legs up, and watch the back here. See these two hinges? You have to slide these two opening onto them like that, and then close up the legs panels. And now we change the arms into the tail of the helicopter. And the back panel will have to be turned again. Gotta make sure this case stays down, so there's space to slide the arms into. And now we clips them together. And turn this section down. And the tail's complete, and with that, the entire helicopter is nearly complete. The only thing left is to put the propeller on. There we go. Now the helicopter mode is completed. Now the one last little thing to do will be attach the weapons on. So each side of the blasters, there's like small rectangular hinges. You just use them to fit them into the openings onto the helicopter, like this. You can also put the other two blaster on the back. On the instruction manual, they're telling you to put it with the blaster pointing backwards, effectively turning them more into like boosters. But I believe you can actually just have them face forward to turn them into weapons as well. But for the moment, let's just follow up on the instruction manual. There, we got everything on. here we have like a military helicopter, and like most aerial vehicle mode of Transformers, unlike the any ground vehicle mode, they don't have any wheels for the so the this mode is kind of immobile. The only workable feature it can do is basically just turn the propeller here, but beyond that, it's still like a military war machine, so it gives off very intimidating and pretty cool appearance. And this covers all the features in the helicopter mode. So this covers all the basic feature for this figure in both robot and vehicle mode. Let's say even though this figure is part of a combiner group, but by itself it's still pretty cool, and it has some unique features such as having the propeller as like a shield or weapon, and at least 3 blasters. It's kind of rare for Transformers, and it has a military vehicle mode. So if you're a Transformer who's looking for like a war machine type kind of Transformer, this would be a good choice for you to add to your collection. Although again, the only little problem is that it is a part of a subgroup or combiner group for forming into a large transformer or combiner. So if you collect only this figure alone, you might get the feeling at some point that it's not completed. So if you acquire this figure, you might have to prepare to collect the rest of the Combaticons. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out other videos from my channel. And if you're interested, please look up the other videos for other Combaticons from the Transformers Age of the Prime series, when the eventual review for the combiner video, the Bruticus figure. And if you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.